All right, so January is Carnivore Month, World Carnivore Month. And with that, I know that there's a lot of people out there that are giving carnivore a try. So I thought that I'd put a quick video together just talking about some of the best ways to get started with carnivore. Now, first of all, I would say that the best way to change your diet is to change it slowly over like 4 to 6 weeks, even 2 to 4 weeks if you can't do 4 to 6 weeks, but definitely 4 to 6 weeks would be recommended. And you just don't want to jump into it really quickly. That has to do a lot with the microbe in your gut and so forth. But I understand. It's World Carnivore Month. It's beginning of the year. It's January. Everybody wants to have New Year's resolutions of losing weight and so forth. So I understand if you are going into it really quickly. Um, I will just say that if you go really quickly into carnivore, understand that there is the possibility of having a few weeks where you don't feel very well and have to go to the bathroom quite often, that kind of thing. Uh, on that point, though, one thing that can help with that is making sure that you're getting the right electrolytes. So, we're talking about sodium, magnesium, potassium, even calcium, to make sure that you're getting all your electrolytes. One of the things that happens when you change up your diet really fast is that you tend to lose electrolytes. You go to the bathroom a lot, right? You start drinking a lot of water and so forth, or you stop eating carbs and your body starts flushing out a lot of water. So with that, you're losing, some of your electrolytes, your sodium and so forth. So uh, even though I don't think that you necessarily need to have electrolyte drink mixes or anything like that, long term on the carnivore diet, in those first couple weeks, it might be a good idea to have something, or just make sure that you're really salting your food well, and getting enough uh, of the magnesium and potassium and so forth. So just keep that in mind. Um, Another thing with starting off on the carnivore diet to think about, um, don't go just from eating 3 to 4 meals a day and go down to one meal a day right away. There are some people that are able to do one meal a day. Some people do a couple meals a day or 3 meals a day, whatever. But it's probably not a good idea to rush into things and go down to one meal a day. For one thing, early on, you could have a lot of nutrients that your body needs because you could be deficient in certain nutrients that you weren't getting before. So it is best to eat 2 or 3 times a day getting started. Make sure that you're getting enough meat and you're getting enough fat. And when we talk about fat, a lot of times people will talk about like butter and rendered fat and so forth. That can cause some issues with going to the bathroom, and your body doesn't quite digest it the same as if it's just the regular animal fat, off the meat. So try and get a high percentage of your fat directly from the meat, as the fat off the meat. Um, and again, you want to make sure you're getting enough fat in that diet that you're having. So, you know, that's another reason that it probably makes sense to go and eat 2 to 3 meals a day. Because if you're only eating one meal, you might not be getting enough fat for what you really need. So you might have to, increase that fat intake. And the best way is from having just more meat with fat in it. Again, fatty meat, ground beef, uh, ribeye steaks are really good for that. Chuck roast, those kinds of things are really, really good with in terms of the high fat content. Eggs are good, so forth. So definitely make sure you're getting enough fat content in. If you are feeling lethargic, tired, and so forth, it could be an issue with electrolyte imbalance, that you're a little deficient on electrolytes, or it could just be that you're not getting enough fat in the diet and your body is probably early on going to really, want that extra fat. Another big thing with starting the carnivore diet is to have an accountability partner, somebody that you can talk to. You can um, just talk about the meals that you're eating and so forth and how things are going. If you slip up or whatever, have somebody that you can talk to. And that is just huge for getting started. Another way to keep yourself accountable is also to write down and track your meals and what you're eating. It might help you to see that maybe you're eating some things that you didn't think you really were, or that you're eating more of it than what you thought you were. And then maybe you also see that, boy, you're not actually eating enough food and you need to be eating a little bit more. So definitely track your meals, write it down on a piece of paper, write it, put it on your phone, enter it, whatever, notes or something, whatever you need to do just to keep like a daily log of what you're eating. And then the other thing is, keep a log of how much you're drinking and so forth. You don't necessarily have to drink a lot of water, but you definitely want to drink water, enough water to keep you hydrated. And again, you got to make sure that you're getting the right electrolytes. When it comes to looking at like diet sodas, they still have a lot of natural flavors, fake sugars, and so forth in them. It doesn't have actual sugar, but it has artificial flavors in them and so forth. So they're not really good for you. It would be better to have that than regular and slowly weed your way down to just drinking water. But just keep in mind that that is technically, not doing carnivore if you are drinking even diet sodas. Sparkling waters, flavored waters, and be careful of different artificial flavors because those will, they'll keep you from losing as much weight as you possibly could. And it will, that stuff does kind of break down as glucose in your body. So keep that in mind as well. All right. So those are just some, a few really good tips to getting started on the carnivore diet. Again, I would suggest going at least 2 to 4 weeks, if not more like 4 to 6 weeks into a transition period. If you're trying to do the whole January, World Carnivore Month Challenge thing of 31 days in January, then I get it. But otherwise, I would suggest trying to ease into it. They have the thing called the keto flu, and that's usually for people that go into it pretty quickly and don't ease into the diet, and also has to do with the electrolytes. So that's another big thing to keep in mind. All right, so that's it. Let me know in the comments if you are working on doing carnivore or you're transitioning into it or whatever. And I wish you all good luck.